right, big weekend. Boxing fans getting ready for a big fight between former world champion Chris Algieri and stablemate Danny Gonzalez in the super lightweight division.
And it's going to be Algieri's first major fight in 2 years. And Tina Sabastia joining us now with Chris.
And Lori, Rosanna, what makes this fight even more of a thrill, Chris Algieri will be fighting in his own backyard. He's a Huntington, New York native. And Chris, welcome back to Good Day New York.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So it's this Friday at the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden. You'll be fighting Danny Gonzalez, and it's only your second fight in 2 years. Take us back to April 2016 and why you had to take this hiatus for a bit.
You know, I had a knee injury going into that fight, and I actually had surgery right after, a couple days later. And it just took some time for me to feel like I had my legs underneath me and we could move on with my career. And I'm super excited to get back to work. Obviously, I'm fighting very often, so I want to make up for time lost.
You fought November 30th, had a pretty easy win in 10 rounds against Angel Hernandez. How has that fight now prepared you so quickly for this one?
You know, being out of the ring for 2.5 years, I just had to go through the reps. You know, I had to go through what a fighter goes through the first time, you know, they fight in a long time. And that's now behind me. I can really focus on my performance and bringing my best to the ring on the 18th.
Now, as Lori and Rosanna mentioned, I mean, Danny is your former, you know, used to spar with him, longtime sparring partner. How do you guys ever talk about fighting down the road for an actual title?
No, it's never I was actually brought up, but this is something that happens in the sport. You know, you got two guys in the same weight class. You're both training for your own events, and sometimes you cross paths. This is just one of those opportunities.
So I guess a lot of family will be there on Friday night?
Oh, always. The
How many tickets do you have to get?
Oh man, I mean it's insane. I mean, especially when it's in my hometown or in my home state, and this is a big one, so people are coming from all over.
So people can also watch it on DAZN, and this is a new app for boxing. So how can people watch this fight on Friday night for you?
Just download the app. You can watch it right on your phone. You know, it's the world that we live in now. Everything's on apps. Everything's on your phone. So you know, accessibility to the fights is super easy.
Chris, you've also talked often about going into medicine when your fighting career is over, and you have several degrees and recently wrote a book on nutrition. So who is that book for, and what do you want to focus in on eventually?
The name of the book is The Fighter's Kitchen. It's not specifically for fighters. It's actually for people who just train and want to be fit like a fighter. But it's 100 recipes, and it's recipes that I actually use for myself in my own career and with other fighters that I work with to help them in their fights.
What would you like to do in medicine or nutrition in the future?
You know, I think nutrition is really growing as a way to help people, and that's always why I wanted to get into medicine, was to share my knowledge, my experience to help others, and it's an extremely satisfying field. So I just want to help as many people as I can with their nutrition and their health.
And of course, you didn't have the bagels or the muffins that were there before you in our green room.
No,
so just a couple days to go. What do you do in these last 3-4 days before a big fight? You
know, this is the tapered down time. We've put so much hard training in the weeks prior. This week is kind of just sharpening up, staying ready, making the weight, shedding off those few extra pounds, and just coming in fight night feeling like Superman.
And we thank you so much for coming in here this morning before your fight Friday night. Good luck, Chris, against Danny Gonzalez.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. New York's own Chris Algieri getting ready to fight at the Garden on Friday night. Rosanna, Lori.
All right, all the best. We're rooting for you. All right.